just another one of their tools that they allow you to use. And it's very handy, especially when you want to access your files or see your files in different locations. So, in order to access Google Drive, you have to log into your Google account. So, of course, it'll be the same account that you use for your Gmail and everything else. So, you would log into your Google account and you would access it through Google. On the top right hand corner, you can click the apps and then you can click on your drive. So, come on. So, for myself here, I'm going to go to my Google. So, there's a couple of different ways you can do it. I usually go to gmail.com. I will hit sign in the top right hand corner. Like I said, I use a password manager, so it allows me to select which account I would like to log into. I go in and select my account. And that logs me into my Gmail. From there, I could go in the top right hand corner, click on the four dots or the multiple dots, and I could go ahead and click on my drive. So here I would have my Google Drive. So this is how you would access your Google Drive. This is one of my accounts that I have for Google Drive. So during your first login, if this is your first login, you will be greeted with a logo on the left hand. You will see a navigation window. You will have My Drive, and that's all the stuff that you have uploaded. Shared with me are things that people have shared with you. So either by sharing it via email or sending you a link is how they will share something with you. Recent items that you have uploaded. Starred, just like in your email, a starred email or a starred is something that you feel is important. And then trash, once you delete these items, it stays in there for 30 days. So going back to our Google Drive, and I'll switch my accounts to a different one here. So that one not in. So Google is making me go through two-factor and everything else, so just bear with me.
Excuse me, you said it's making you go through, what is it?
Two-factor, where basically it
Two.
sends me a text message to validate I am who I say I am.
Okay, you said two factor?
Yes, two-factor.
Okay, thank you.
Mhm. Okay, so I'm logged in here. So here you can see my suggested files. But on the left, like we talked about, we have the shared with me. So these are files that people shared with me. My recent are my recent documents. So of course my syllabus and different things that I have uploaded. Starred would be anything that I said was important. So, I have this import document here that I felt that was important. So I have that there. And then I can go back to my home, which would show me everything. So once again, this is very user friendly as far as the point where if I have multiple, accounts, or if I'm going to a library or going somewhere and I want to access my documents, you can have this automatically upload your documents to you. Any questions so far on that?
No, for me.
Roy, how do you star a document? The three dots?
So you can either do the three dots, or you can, when you open it, so like on my contact information here,
What was the question? I didn't hear her.
how do you star a document? Make it a favorite.
Okay, thank you.
Mhm. Hmm. There it is. Sorry. So three dots, organize, and then add to start is how you would be able to make that a start. So if I was to do that here,
Can you repeat it, please, teacher? Cool.
so in order to start a document, if you're inside of My Drive, you will click on the three dots, go to organize, and then it would say add to start. But since I already start this, it gives me an option to remove it.
Thank you. I will do it together with you.
Okay. So settings, just like everything else, when we talked about inside of Google or Gmail, you have your settings. So in order to access your settings, it's going to be in the same place, top right-hand corner. The little gear icon on the top right gives you three options, get backup and sync for Windows, which is a handy tool if you want to download it and have your documents and stuff sync directly from your computer without having to upload each file individually. You have your keyboard shortcuts, and then you have the actual settings.
Teacher, I have a question. When I click my drive, it doesn't show up any blank page, but if I click my drive on the top, let's say Google Docs, Google Sheets, Google Slides, it depends on what kind of Google app I would like to work with.
Correct. So you probably have 0 documents in there right
Yes.
now. So that's
Mhm.
why nothing is showing up. It's showing up blank. If you were to get documents or once you started adding documents, you would be able to do that from there. So then you would see your documents and everything else.
Okay.
Any other questions?
Yes, please. Noticed how it says now settings general, and then just like a few minutes ago, it just said settings only. Is this the same thing?
So after we clicked on settings, this is where you would go to settings general. So this was the next slide. So if you click on settings, you should get the settings general tab should open up, and I will show you that here in a minute.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I have a question.
Yes.
At the beginning of this presentation, you say that once you start in it, you can see that a navigation way to navigate through it. My question is, if you already have documents in there, you already been working on it or anything, but is there any way to still get the navigation just to review how it really works?
To review what? I guess I'm kind of
Because you
lost.
said the navigation, because you said we can do navigation once we open it, right, or not?
Navigation of what?
Of the Google Drive.
So, oh, you mean to be able to restart the navigation?
Yes.
There probably is. I would have to probably get back to you on that one. I'm going to have to look it up and see where it's at.
Okay, that's good. No problem. The thing is, I started doing adding documents, working on it like for emergency things to do, but I really didn't know exactly how it works. So I really wanted to go through it. But yeah, you can go ahead. I'm sure I'm gonna get it from you.
Oh yeah, I would just have to look it up and find out how to do that. But yes. So once you're in the settings general, you will see your storage, so the amount of storage you have used. Of course, you can always buy more storage if you need to. You can convert your uploads to Google format. So, when you upload your documents, say it's a Word document, it will want you to convert it over to a Google document or Google Docs document versus, so you can have it automatically do that, or you can keep it in the Word format. And then, of course, you have the different language settings if needed.
Hey, Troy.
So, yes.
Really quick, my screen doesn't look like that. It just says start page, appearance, density, open PDFs, uploads.
Oh,
It has sounds and language. It does not have a. Maybe I have to click on them. I don't know. It just says start
okay.
underscore
No.
start page, right? Appearance.
So they have changed this since the last
There you go. That's the one I
2
have.
months. So they have changed this within the last 2 months that I actually made my PowerPoints during the summer break. So
Oh.
I apologize.
Yeah, no worries. I'm in the wrong spot.
So that's what happens when you create your PowerPoints during the summer break and Google decides to do an update. So I apologize for that.
Excuse me, Troy, like I hadn't gone into Google Docs in a while, or my Google account, like in a couple of months. And that happened to me too, going, oh, how do I get there? And I maneuvered through it and figured it out, but it was kind of like, it kind of throws you off a little bit because you're like, oh, this didn't happen. And I was in here 2 months ago because they updated it.
Yeah, so I mean it's different now. So still some of the same features it looks like. So of course, we talked about buying the storage, or you could view your storage. So like I said, this one's small. If I go to my main Google Drive for my main account, and I go to my settings, you will see I'm using 135 gigs. And I have bought more storage instead of the 15 gigs. So I did do the upgrade from, 15 gigs and I bought more storage. So from there, it wants to talk about if you want to convert your uploads to Google Docs editor format. So that's what I was talking about, where you're able to do that conversion. Down here, you could go ahead and change your language settings if need be.
Excuse me, Troy.
Yes.
Does that mean convert your uploads to Google Docs editor format? I know what most of it means, but when it says like your previous documents.
So basically, these are documents that you're going to upload. A lot of times we're working in, just say you're working in Microsoft Word.
Yes.
And if it's a Word document, it will convert it over to Google Docs. Just like if you are working on a Excel document from Microsoft Excel, it'll convert it over to Google Sheets. So it just will convert all your documents over to the native format of Google.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
So if you don't select that convert uploads, that means it's gonna keep the format that you originally have in your document?
Correct.
Okay.
So that's basically the settings, and I will go ahead and update that slide in the spreadsheet and get that over to you or to the PowerPoint just so everyone will have it. I apologize that they made that change without me realizing it. So setting notification, these are just browser get notifications about your drive anytime there's a file uploaded, downloaded, or anything that you might have. You can also select get email updates if you want to be emailed and notified about updates. Like I said, this probably changed also. And then last but not least, you can have manage your apps. So which apps, select your default apps for your different items. And then you can use Google Apps or select different ones if need be. So getting into those, I go back. So my privacy, of course, that's just the way that, your data privacy that Google shares, your data saying that they won't share it. Here you'll get your notifications. So get all updates about Google Drive items via email. So that way, anytime there's a file uploaded, downloaded, you will get a notification through your email. And then what I talked about was your manage of your apps. So here you could say which apps you would like to use. So like for my Google Docs, it says I could tell it to use default, or I could uncheck that box and, basically have it. It should give me options, but I guess it's not working. So you would be able to select on the different options that you have. And if you guys give me 1 second, please. All right, sorry about that. So, like I said, here's the Google Sheets, Google Slides. It's saying that we're going to use these applications by default. Most of the time, I don't open stuff in the web browser, but you can go ahead and say, no, what I would rather want to use my own application, and that's where you could tell it to collect different apps to use compared to the built-in ones. So, of course, there's all these other apps that you could tell it to install. And that's what it will use when you want to open something.
And do those cost extra money? And if they do, will they tell you?
Some of them are free.
Okay.
Some of them will cost, but most of the time it will tell you that, when you go to install it, that it will cost.
Thank you.
Mhm. So Google Backup and Sync, very handy tool, especially if you're going to be utilizing this a lot. You want to be able to take your files on the go with you. I also have the app on my phone, so I have access to all my documents on my phone. I have it on my computer, and it will automatically upload my documents for me. So you download the application, you install it, and then you select which folders you would like to sync. So that is one way that you're able to get that done. So I could go back to my Google here. I could go to the settings icon and tell it to get Drive for desktop. So it's going to say, okay, you want to download it. So you download the Drive for desktop and you would just install it like any other application. Other ways that you're able to go ahead and sync your files, you could do a manual upload. So you can upload your files by clicking on New. You can select the type of file or folder you want to create. And then you could go ahead and tell it to upload the file. So a lot of times when you're working on a shared computer, you don't have access to, install the application. So if I go inside of my drive and say I want to go to New, I could either tell it to do a file or a folder upload. So say I was at school, I'm at the library, I worked on my resume, and now I want to go ahead and upload it. So I could go to my resumes or whatever it was, click on it, and tell it to upload. Over here, you will see that it was uploading, and now it says upload complete. So now I have my resume inside of Google Docs. So since Google Docs Editor was the default, it opens up my resume inside of Google Docs. So the same thing, I could go ahead and do that with anything in here. So I could tell it to upload, or I could tell it to create a new document if I want to. And then last but not least, say if I have uploaded this, and now I want to share it with somebody. So right from the document, either if it's open, I can go to share. So up here, I can either tell it to copy a link, or I could go ahead and click on the share icon, and I could say, who do I want to email this to? So I could type in my other email address, say yes. And then I could either type in a message, or I could say, you know what, I don't want it to notify them. And then maybe you don't want them to be able to edit the document. Maybe you just want them to be able to view it, and they can't make any changes to your document. So I can say, you know what, you're just going to be a viewer. And then I can go ahead and send that.
Excuse me, Troy, the part where it said your name,
Yes.
if you don't like yours, you have it set up where it'll just say your name, but if you don't have a name, you just type in the email address where you want it to go to.
Correct. So you would just type in the email address. That's what I originally typed in. But
Oh,
then since it's a Google account, Google says, well, based on the user you typed in, this is the name of that person.
okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I have a question.
Yes.
I open a document that I have in Google Apps, and then I did share. I click the share as you did, and then it says it has just only two options. So one thing says copy link, and the other one says private to me only.
So when you go up here to click on share,
Yes, and then I do the down arrow.
okay, so with the down arrow, that's just going to give you the copy link. But if you
Oh,
click on the
okay.
share,
So I click in the share, not the down arrow.
correct. You click on share, and that's where you're going to be able to get the place to type in.
Okay, my mistake.
Oh, nope, you're fine. That's what I'm here for.
Excuse me, teacher.
Yes.
Yes. Can you make a little bit bigger screen so I can see the PowerPoint? Too small letters.
Well, this is just my resume. So this isn't a PowerPoint. This is just a resume.
Oh, okay, so yeah, overall, yeah. If you can make a little bigger screen, I'll be appreciate. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Troy,
Yes.
from seeing things, is there any way that you can make the little mouse cursor bigger and maybe a different color?
Mouse cursor bigger.
Little arrow, because if you're bouncing all around, I can't follow where you're pointing.
Ah.
Just thought.
I know it is hard to follow him, right?
He's very.
It's
he's
not
very-
hard to follow for me. It's just like the words are really small, and then
Yes.
all the characters or the little pictures in the toolbars or whatever. So I'm looking really close, like I'm like 12, 14 inches from the screen where I'd normally be setting up straight. But that's
All right.
me.
Oh, so much better. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. That is better.
That's great. Thank you.
So like I said, the share was right up here. And that's where you would do your share. So once I shared it, I go to my other email account. It says here I have a document that was shared. And it's IT director. So it's saying, hey, this person invited you to view. It's saying that all that person could do is view the following document. So from here, I could go ahead and click on open, and I will open up that document that that person sent over to me. So now while I'm in here, I can't make any changes, but I can say, I've seen a couple of mistakes. I would rather, you give me edit access, and you could say, found a lot of mistakes, need to make changes. So I could send that over and request editor access from that person to allow them to get access to edit that document. And that's the way you're able to collaborate inside of Google Drive by sharing your documents and everything else back and forth with each other.
Question.
Yes.
Is there any way that when I share my document, like suppose I share a document with you, but I wanted to allow you to do any changes, can I share it with that way, or do you have to request?
You could share it directly by giving access. So under share,
Okay.
I could say, right here, what type of access? Editor, commentator, viewer. So I mean, right here, you could say right off the back what type of access you want to give that person.
Okay, great. That works. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Any other questions?
I do have a question.
Yes.
Suppose I share with you, I don't know, an Excel document, and then I need you to do any changes. So I'm gonna get those changes right away, right? I mean, when I open the changes that you did is gonna show in my screen as well, right?
Yes.
Okay. And suppose I needed to word different way. Should I do it in Google Drive or should I send it to my documents? I mean, an Excel regular document. You know what I
So
mean?
it depends on how you want to access your documents. If you're always using the same computer,
Mm-hmm.
it doesn't hurt just to save it on your documents. The problem is if your computer dies or your hard drive dies, you lose all your documents.
Yes.
So that's where saving and uploading it to Google is helpful.
Okay. So suppose that you did some changes and other classmates did changes on that same document. And then what is a good thing to do? Like keep it there or upload it again on my own documents to update my Excel?
So usually what I would do is you could save a copy.
Okay.
So when I'm in my document here,
Okay.
I could go over to the file menu and I could say make a copy. So now this document won't be shared. The copy that I make, only I have access to it.
But it's still in Google Drive.
But it's still in Google Drive. If I
Okay.
wanted to bring it to my computer,
Okay.
I could tell it to download it to my computer. And that would have it on my computer itself.
Okay. Okay. Okay, that makes sense. Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm. Any other questions? So bringing these two together with Google Drive and Gmail, as you can see, by having that one Google account, you're able to go into your Gmail. You can get your email and everything from there. And then you will also see where I requested access. So everything comes across to your Gmail. And then, like I said, clicking those dots up here allow you to switch over to your Google Drive. So you're using this one platform, Google, to be able to have multiple things going on.